This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a huge UAP/drone news update regarding Lou Elizondo. Lou Elizondo saying a little bit more, the former Pentagon head of the Pentagon's UFO research program, as well as a very interesting bunch of information from Democratic Senator Christine Gillibrand, who is also involved with intelligence. And let me just say some of the things that she's interested in regarding the drone. Actually, let's play her clip first. Let's play her clip right now.
A number of these drone incursions over military bases, over highly confidential, secretive sites, over areas like arsenals, over nuclear sites over the last several years. And we recently had a 2-week drone incursion over Langley. We just had one a week.
So there we go. There's a lot of drone incursions going on, and I'm not going to play that whole clip because you could go to CBS News to look that up. But she says these drones could be spying, sighting targets, and in her opinion, they could be putting American people at risk. She will not rule out that they're from another country. They are using unfamiliar tech. She has reason to believe they are being launched from ships because they are being seen overall in places that are easily accessible to by sea. There's no evidence that they didn't come from a ship at this point, or a country who is likely building them and sending them in ships. She says our adversaries like China have been using our intelligence to gather our airspace to gather intelligence for years, and she cites the balloon incident as one of the examples of a time that has happened. And of course, it wasn't just the balloon. There was 3 other objects shot down after that we never found out the reasons why they are shot down. She then goes on to say that these drones can be used to carry lethal threat munitions. They can be spy crafts, and they can be getting reception from electronics and digital communications. She says this is feasible, and with their size, they can also carry large payloads as well as weapons. They appear to be very sophisticated. And keep in mind, there's 2% that are still unknown out there. They're saying out of 5,000 reports, there's about 100 that they don't know what they are. That's still a lot. And again, this is probably updated by now. They haven't really given an update on how many are unknown and known for several days now. The official government statement is don't worry about it. They are drones, commercial and hobby drones. Don't worry about it. And the other is just legalized drones out there keeping an eye on things. The senator goes on to say they're hovering above homes, schools, and communities. If it is an adversary, and again, the official statement is they don't know where these things are coming from, if they're an adversary or not. They don't have enough information to know. She says if it is an adversary flying over military bases and following Coast Guard crafts, that is illegal. She's confirmed that is illegal if it is an adversary. So they're either lying to us that they don't know if it's local or not, or there is actually something nefarious going on and it's an adversary or something unknown. She says she is very dissatisfied from the response so far from the Homeland Security, FBI, and CIA, and she's written a letter to them as a member of the Intelligence Committee, the Senate Intelligence Committee, regarding her concerns that these things are displaying nefarious characteristic. And again, another thing, one of the drones was captured at a base in California over Space Force Base, and it turned out the guy operating it was a Chinese national, and they caught him when he was on his way back to China. Lou Elizondo, as I mentioned before, did a new interview just today with News Nation. He says the government is giving no information to explain why the actual mystery ones that have been seen going over bases and why airspace has actually been shut down, the ones that are causing these type of disturbances, they've given no information on why these are not a threat. And why are they giving classified briefings and closing airspace if they are actually not a threat? He says when the government has a problem with no solution, they try and minimize the situation as much as possible and then pass the buck on to the new administration, which I think is coming in about 32 days. But that's a long time, actually, when you think about it. I mean, it's a short time, but it could also be a long time. Elizondo went on to say they are saying to trust them as far as these government statements from Homeland Security and the Pentagon, but they're providing no verification on why we should trust them. And sometimes they're reporting that the things aren't drones, but manned aircraft. Sometimes they are calling them drones. Sometimes they're saying they don't know what they are. In some cases, they're saying they're government craft there. In other cases, they're saying there's no government operation. There's no classified government operations going on. They keep changing their stories of what these things are continuously. And there was an interview with another senator or congressperson, rather, that says the communication strategy is questionable, both interagency and to the public. The explanations are inconsistent. They're continuously changing stories without any obvious reason. The Homeland Security guy is flip-flopping regarding whether they're a threat or not. So there's a lot of good points by the Senate Intelligence Committee woman and Lou Elizondo on why we shouldn't just ignore this stuff. And I mean, President Biden even just keeps saying they're not nefarious. Well, why are we closing down bases if they're not nefarious? And why is this seems to be the most level-headed Senate Intelligence Committee representative so far? And she's a Democrat. She is a Democrat. And she's giving a response that's more aligned with what President Trump said, that something strange is going on and they know more than what Biden is basically saying. Oh, it's not nefarious. We got things under control. Very, very bizarre situation that I noticed some news sources are actually trying to put an end to this. But in reality, there's really no answers. And if you're going to just take the answer that this is not nefarious, which I'm really sick of hearing that word, I mean, you really haven't been researching it. I think anyone that's been watching me knows I've been watching probably on average 6 to 8 hours of videos related to this stuff today. And I've been reporting on all the different things, and I've been interviewing people about it and talking to people that I know in the military about it, often on the record. And I know enough to say this is nothing to worry about. There's something, I'm not saying you necessarily have to worry about it. I'm just saying there's something going on here that we don't know all the information on. And if we do know it, there's a communication issue, as the one congressperson said.